At the outset, let me again say and stress that the use of Standing Order 51 should be limited and should not be abused, as we again see with this bundle of bills that we are debating at this hour. I look at all these bills, Honorable Speaker. They have far-reaching consequences, Honorable Speaker, and they should have been brought in the proper way into Parliament and referred to committees to carry out dialogue that would give us the breadth and depth into this bill to enable us to debate them in a meaningful and constructive manner. Honorable Speaker, 7 years in Parliament. I love Parliament and the way it works. I love the way it goes to committees. I love the way we delve into these bills, and the way that the Fiji first government is circumventing the process is very, very sad. And Honorable Prime Minister, when I said that if you pass this bill, it was not a threat in the way that you're assuming, what I'm saying is that if you continue this way, people will lose faith in the 2013 Constitution, which will translate to the way they see our parliamentary process, the way it works. And that would be tragic for this country when people lose faith in the Constitution and the way our parliamentary system of governance operates under the way Fiji First is going about things. Honorable Speaker, I often said that in the SDL governments, there used to be a legislative committee, and their role was to bring 4 bills to Parliament in every sitting of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. And this is something that the Fiji First government should do. They should have a legislative committee to bring in these bills to Parliament, Honorable Speaker, because there are many occasions in the sitting of Parliament where we are told there are no bills. And then all we have are these bills that are rushed through under Standing Order 51. I was a member, I was part of the Economic Affairs Committee. I would love to have called in people to deliberate on the RBF bill, on the financial management bill, and others in here that fall within the ambit of the Economic Affairs Committee. But it is sad, Honorable Speaker, that it is happening this way, that these bills are being rushed through. And many of them, Honorable Speaker, are not consequential bills. They do not affect the budget at all. But here we are, with the way Fiji First is abusing the process of Parliament, we end up rushing bills through and not being debated in the way they deserve. And Honorable Speaker, yesterday I spoke about the cost to combat COVID-19. And Honorable Speaker, I still believe that it can be done at less than $1 billion that the Minister of Economy has indicated. He is confused about the GDP. The cost is different from the losses of the GDP. In any event, as indicated by the Honorable Professor Biman today, even when you have a lockdown, activities that contribute to the GDP don't come to a halt. That the Honorable Minister for the Economy should realize that. He should be corrected on that. He is totally wrong on that one, Honorable Speaker. And I was going to let it pass, but people of in Fiji First appear to have problems with understanding the GDP, Honorable Speaker. But on this one, Honorable Speaker, I will speak only on Bill number 29. And Honorable Speaker, it has very, very far-reaching effect. And the amendments, again, should not be through Standing Order 51 and as a consequential bill. With a bit of history, Honorable Speaker, the Financial Management Act, FMA, was a culmination of the public sector and public finance management reforms started by the Alliance government, continued by the SVT government, and culminated in the SDL government enacting it in 2004. So there was a lot of work went into this, Honorable Speaker, and to amend it in this fashion, Understanding Order 51 is borders on the criminal, Honorable Speaker. And if you look at it, Honorable Speaker, it consolidates everything under the Minister of the Economy. I mean, he has enough powers already, but this one, the amendment he's making now, is we'll just consolidate and centralize all that power with the minister. And as I said in yesterday's debate about the cost of lockdown, I said, you can't really budget for COVID-19 when there's so many R's in the budget and the amount being held in head 50. I use the term, Honorable Speaker, that it's like putting money in somebody's back pocket, and he brings it out when he wants to.
No understanding of finance.
With the proper budgeting, Honorable Speaker, we can find the money to combat COVID-19, and not in the feeble way that we are doing it today. We have to meet it head on. We will determine how much it costs and budget accordingly. And there's such thing, Honorable Speaker, in business called scenario budgeting. You can budget according to the scenario that you face today for the next 6 months. What we have today is the same old program budgeting that will not work. During the crisis that we face today. So there's going to be a bit more imagination, Honorable Speaker, on how we do it. And unfortunately, that is lacking from the Fiji First government. And as we all see, it's because power is consolidated in one person, and that is why all the money that should be used for COVID-19 are in his back pockets, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, some aspects of this bill that we disagree with, Honorable Speaker, is in the new section 6A, role of the peers of the economy. Somebody can ask the question, is the minister attempting to blame the permanent secretary? We all know that he makes the decisions on the national debt and etc. On clause 6, amendment to section 7, changing the financial to physical. This gives the minister too much powers, as we've been saying. Too wide and broad authority and powers when he can't even do the role properly at this point, Honorable Speaker.
It's so silly.
Clause 8, Honorable Speaker, fiscal strategy is mere bells and whistles for elections in 2022. Too much drama, Honorable Speaker, on this one. Clause 9, Honorable Speaker, amending section 13, state entities retaining revenue and using it. Why exclude Parliament? Why is Parliament not in this? If they are retaining revenue, they should not receive public funds. All such revenue should be disclosed to Parliament, Honorable Speaker. The National Fiscal Strategy, new section 13A, should be flexible and not limited by law. Clause 17, new section 27A, pre-election economic update. Why only for elections? This should be provided for every quarter or every 6 months.
It's already
Some
there.
amendments like 28A, unnecessary, Honorable Speaker, and can be done via circular. Clause 20 to amend 29, section 29 to allow the minister to suspend or limit expenditure of money if he thinks an entity has breached the law. Opposing government policy or government financial situation warrants is it draconian, Honorable Speaker. It's evidence of poor budgeting, fiscal irresponsibility and mismanagement of public funds and resources. Here the minister is overruling Parliament, and he makes a subjective assessment without reference to the courts or other independent bodies. Clause 23, Amendment 44. Government has 3 months, not 2, as in the current law, to provide media fiscal statement. It all leads to a Superman here, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I can go on. There are many areas that I would like to highlight, Honorable Speaker. It is not necessary at this time, Honorable Speaker. And again, we say, why the consolidation of powers into one minister, Honorable Speaker? So, Honorable Speaker, we disagree totally with the changes that are being made. It's so far-reaching. It should not be done in this manner, Honorable Speaker. And we could do a better job handling the FMA in the way it's being done, and to be changed in accordance with proper dialogue within the powers that be within Parliament, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, we oppose the changes, the amendment to Bill number 29, and that also works for the other bills because of the manner they've been brought into Parliament, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Let it.
I thank the Honourable Member for his contribution to the debate. I now give the floor to the Honourable Minister Fayez Quaid.